One. Okay. Give me a few seconds. Aaron, if you will come closer. One. 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 Test. Okay. I hope this microphone will work. Another is not really working. Let's check it. Do we have a green light? Let's start with a prayer.
Yeah, it's a green light.
Okay. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O Heavenly King, the Comforter, the Spirit of truth, who art ever and fillest all sins, treasure your blessings and giver of life, come and abide with us, and cleanse us from every impurity, and save our souls, O good one. Christ in our midst.
Is now, never shall be.
So today we continue our Gospel of Saint Luke, chapter 14. So if someone will read it from verse 1 until verse 7. Yes, the first group.
Now it happened as he went into the house of one of the rulers of the Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath, that they watched him closely, and behold, there was a certain man before him who had dropsy. And Jesus answering spoke to the lawyers and Pharisees, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? But they kept silent, and he took him and healed him and let him go. Then he answered them, saying, Which of you, having a donkey or an ox that has fallen into a pit, will not immediately pull out on the Sabbath day? And they could not answer him regarding these things.
Okay, thank you so much. So Jesus came to visit one of the rulers of the synagogue. Most likely he was preaching in the synagogue, and after they finished service, he was invited by the ruler, very important person, many others, Pharisee, to home for some lunch, to eat bread on the Sabbath. So it was Sabbath. Please remember, Jewish tradition on Sabbath, they was not working, because they have the law, they need to respect the Sabbath. Those Pharisees who came to that home also was interested to observe Jesus closely when he will eat with them, maybe have opportunity to better see him, what he's doing, how he is behaving, how he is even eating, and have opportunity maybe ask him some questions. They was interested to observe, maybe to find something either positive or negative in Jesus. But among those people, it was a person, a certain man, who had a dropsy. It a disease. It is a disease, so we do not know. That man was invited by the ruler of those Pharisees. He was one of Pharisees. We have no idea who was that man. Maybe he was just standing in front of the house of that ruler. We have no idea. From the Bible, when we read it, we cannot find the answer. What is interesting, in verse 3, and Jesus answering. Can you see when we see answering, it's you can understand it was the question. No, it wasn't a question. That person probably silently asked him, even if his presence was a question to Jesus. So Jesus noticed that he is sick. But this is a Sabbath, please remember. In Jewish tradition, they are not allowed, even doctors, to help people. If something happen, person are bleeding, yes, they can help as much as to stop blood, and he can wait being alive for next day to receive full treat, full help. So it was not really allowed for Jewish people. So Jesus answering and spoke to the lawyers and Pharisees. Among those Pharisees, it was special people, lawyers. It's not like our lawyers from court. It's a people who knows very well church law, Mosaic law. So they know what their law requested. And he saying, it is lawful to heal on the Sabbath. This is the question he asked lawyers, he asked Pharisees. What we have it, but they kept silence. They didn't want to answer this question. Why? Of course they know that it's illegal, it's improper to help a person. But they feel uncomfortable to say it loudly, to admit it that they prefer to be not merciful. So they decided better keep my mouth shut, say no word. He can think whatever he wish, they think about Jesus. So they keep silence. Very educated people, Pharisees, especially lawyers, it was the one who knows by heart entire Bible, who knows the law of the God, who knows all tradition and all explanation how to use it, that rules. But they kept silent. And he took on him and healed that person who been ill. Since they didn't answer to him, Jesus decided to heal that person. Then he answered them, saying, which of you, having a donkey or an axe that has fallen into a pit, will not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day? The law permitted for Jewish people on the Sabbath day to have pity for animals. Animals cannot understand this is the Sabbath day, so they have to be treated, they have to receive some, they have to be watered, they have to have some food, and if something happens, they have to help it, because animal cannot understand this is the Sabbath. So it was permissible. Please remember, in Gospel of St. Luke, this is the third healing on Sabbath by Jesus. Just in Gospel of St. Luke, this is the third one. Here, it's really hard for us maybe to understand that sentence. Which of you having a donkey? Word a donkey, yes, we know what is donkey. However, in many manuscripts, it's not word a donkey, it's a word son. Yes, son. So if someone have a son or ox that had fallen in the pit, are you going to have a mercy? If your son fall down in the water, are you going to help? If he may die. Actually, it was a good question. Some people was trying to debate, and Jesus was asking them. But even for animals, they understand it may die. You need to have mercy, you need to help it. And they could not answer him regarding these things. So why those people came? To watch him closely. They want to examine him. They want to find anything. But when Jesus asks them a question, they prefer keep silence. Why do you think? Because they didn't know the answer? If they will answer it, it will look, if you may have mercy to animal, why people, children of Abraham, cannot have such mercy? Can you see if someone love his pet or her pet? Doesn't matter. Cat, dog, pig, whatever. And you love more than a person. You give it a lot of different treats to your pet. And near you, a person who is starving to death. Is it really proper? So we have a mercy to animal, which is good. Definitely we must have mercy for animals. But definitely we have to have mercy for other being, for other person. Not even if they only Jewish, to anyone we have to have mercy. So this is the difference. When their law permitted to help an animal, it was okay. They believe it's okay, God will permit it, but not to help people. Yes. Any question about that paragraph? Okay, so from verse 7 to 12.
So he told the parable to those who were invited. When he noted how they chose the best places, or saying to them, when you are invited by anyone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best place, lest one more honorable than you be invited by him, and he who invited you and him come and say to you, give place to this man, and then you begin with shame to take the lowest place. But when you are invited, go and sit down in the lowest place, so that when he who invited you comes, he may say to you, friend, go up higher. Then you will have glory in the presence of those who sit at the table with you. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted.
Okay. I have a question. What do you think this paragraph? Is it Jesus teaching about some morality? Jesus teaching how to be successful in life? Achieve something more than you may receive it? What it is? What do you think?
Humility.
Humility. Any other idea? Can you see he's telling, if you sit on the best spot, someone can ask you, can you move because I have some better, greater than you are. And if you have to do it in front of the rest of the people, you will not be happy man. So what Jesus teaching people? What do you think? Don't have pride. Okay. There is a book, Proverb. If you have your Orthodox Bible study, open page 860. Proverbs, chapter 25, page 860. Chapter 25, verses 6 to 7. Do not brag on yourself in the presence of the king, neither stand in the place of princes. For it's better that he be said to you, come up to me. So we can find similar teaching in Old Testament. Yes. Jesus was invited to such dinner. Most likely those Pharisee lawyers, they already choose the best places near the master. Jesus just telling them, gently telling them, when you are invited, do not try to reserve the best spot. Maybe it was reserved not for you. Maybe it's not for you. He's telling us, even when we humble ourselves, we may receive it a word. Because when you sit, how to say it, the less desirable place, the master of the feast, seeing your importance, may invite it, come closer to me. It's a little different what we have nowadays, what it was before. The people who were sick sit next to the master of the feast. They was the greatest people. Do you remember how disciples was asking Jesus, can we sit on the right and on the left side in your kingdom? Why? Because this is the most important roles. They want to reserve it for themselves. How far you from the master, people can count your worthiness. So if you sit on the 5th seat from the master, or if you sit on the 10th seat from the master, who is greater? The one who sits closer. But you never know. Maybe among those guests who was invited on such feast, some very important person may be late. What if such person will come and there is no place for such person? What the master is going to do? He is going to ask, can you move it? Can you move it? So Jesus just tell him how we have to behave, and he said that we have to humble ourselves, and he definitely against the pride. For whoever exalts himself will be humble, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. So this is what we as Orthodox believe. We shouldn't try to receive all the ranks in the world. We try to humble ourselves. What is interesting, when we look in life of Orthodox saints, it really amazes me. All of our Orthodox saints always claim that they are the biggest sinners in the world. I am very serious. All of them, those who we call holy, we call them saints, they themselves consider us as sinners. It's look like between Orthodox and Catholic Church, it's not a huge distance. Indeed, we have many similarities. Read some life of saints, especially from second millennium, and you will be shocked. When people sincerely believe that they are best than other people. Ours say we are sinners. Some of them say we are holy. We already fulfill everything, even did more than others people. Can you see the difference? Honestly, yes, we have many similarities, but when we look on spirituality level, it's a huge distance between us. We need to humble ourselves always. Not because we know the technique, if you humble, you are going to be, not really. You need to look deep into yourself and not just pretend that I am humble, but try to see your own imperfections. When you will see your own, even smallest imperfections, you have no pride. It's like a room. Have you ever noticed when there is not a lot of light in the room? It looks clean. But when we open window, you may see some imperfections. But when we have straight lights from sun, you even see how many stuff in air. The closer we come to God, the closer we come to light, the more imperfection we are able to see. The person who far away from light cannot see it. For them, everything is perfect. Everything is clean, everything is fine. But those who come close to God, they notice how many imperfections they have in their life. So those words was sincere words. From verse 12 to 15.
Then he also said to him who invited him, "When you give a dinner or a supper, do not ask your friends, your brothers, your relatives, nor rich neighbors, lest they also invite you back and you be repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you, for you shall be repaid at the resurrection of the just."
Thank you. So Jesus at the beginning have the word for guests, those who came with him to such dinner or lunch. Then he addressed his word to a master. And he said who he came to invite. Usually when we have some party, whom we are invited? Friends, relatives, good co-workers, neighbor, good neighbors, not the worst neighbor, but the good neighbor. So people almost on the same level or related to us, isn't it? So we are hoping someday we are going to be also invited on their party. It's normal, it's human, we are doing the same. But Jesus telling what you are going to receive it. You already receive your award here on earth. But you have ability to receive award in heaven. When I invited someone and someone in return invited me, I already received my award here. But Jesus saying, look around. How many people need your help? Those who never will be able to repay you. Do you really expect that some beggar can afford you a good steak to give it to you, invited? Probably not. So if you make such investments, let's put this way, make some investment in those poor people, you're going to receive a word, but not here. You're going to receive a word in heaven. Very true. So when we have ability to help others people, we need to help them. Because they cannot repay you, for you shall be repaid at the resurrection of the just.
Why does he use just instead of resurrection of the dead?
It's a good question, Marlon. We have to think, first of all, what the audience of Jesus. This is Pharisee, scribes. What they was expected. Yes, Pharisee believe in resurrection. Sadducee didn't believe in resurrection at all. But what kind of resurrection they believe? They was believing in resurrection of just. When someday it will happen that they are going to receive, as the children of Abraham, they are going to receive special awards. They are going to have special dinner, and all of them are going to participate. Please remember, this is the story which happened to Jesus when he was talking to people who were sitting with him. Jesus was not yet glorified. And they didn't have idea what is resurrection. They have their kind of understanding. It's not the same.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. From verse 15 to, to 25.
Oh, okay. Worldly entanglements? That one?
Yes, from
Okay.
verse 15, worldly, yes.
Okay. So, in other words, now when one of those who sat at the table with him heard these things, he said to him, "Blessed is he who shall eat bread in the kingdom of God." Then he said to him, "A certain man gave a great supper and invited many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to those who invited, 'Come, for all things are now ready.' But they all with one accord began to make excuses. The first said to him, 'I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see to it. I ask you to have me excused.' And another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I'm going to test them. And I ask you to have me excused.' So another said, 'I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.' So that servant came and reported these things to his master. And the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, 'Go out quickly in the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in there the poor, and the maimed, and the lame, and the blind.' And the servant said, 'Master, it is done as you commanded, and there is still room.' And then the master said to the servant, 'Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say to you that none of those men who invited shall taste my supper.'"
Thank you so much.
No problem.
It's very interesting story. So they were sitting on the table, and when Jesus said about what would happen in the resurrection of the just, one of the person was so excited. And he said, "Blessed is he who shall eat bread in the kingdom of God." Here they was, as I said, they have their idea, their vision. It should be special dinner. They will eat special food They are going to have a lot of meat. It will be killed special animals, a huge one. And they are going to participate in such because they are chosen one. They are Pharisee, they are lawyers. Definitely they belong to the best part of Abraham's children. So what Jesus is doing? He's not just saying, no, you're wrong. He not saying directly, but indirectly, he gave them a parable. A certain man gave a great supper and invite many. I have a question. What usually time for supper? 3 p.m.
Or later.
or later. Or later, yes. And invite many. Yes, we receive invitation from people. Usually when we receive invitation, we may receive a card, and usually we have a date on that card, we have a place, and we have a time when they expected us to come. Or maybe if we are very close, they can tell us, but usually even if they tell us, they are going to give us a card that we are going to remember, because sometimes we can be invited not this week, we can be invited next month or even next year. And we have to put in our schedule to have it reserved such date for such event. What do you think invitation 2,000 years ago? To which printer shop they go and ask to have those printed cards? How they did? What do you think?
Verbally?
Verbally, absolutely, yes, verbally. But they didn't even tell exactly the date. It was approximately in such and such time. Approximately, but not even a date was not known. It depends on some circumstances. So when the time was coming close to such time, they sent servants, slaves, to tell those people who was invited when such event would happen. So it's not like you receive 1 year ago a card and you have to remember it. No, they were sending maybe a few days before such event, they send it, or maybe even a second time they send it today, tonight, we are going to have it.
So they got more invitations than just one invitation?
Correct. It was not only one.
Okay.
You talk to people and eventually know how many people may come. Can you see you need to make preparation? Nowadays we are guessing when we have to make some big event. We are guessing how many guests may come to us. We do not know exactly. Are we going to have, let's say, for wedding or for something huge, are we going to have 35 people? Are we going to have 150 people or 300 people? How it's important? Yes, it's important greatly because you need to find a place where all those people whom you invited can be. It's not an easy, trust me. I have some such experience in my life, so I know it. You have to prepare everything. So those people was, first of all, talk to people whom they want to invite. Would you be able? Would you be interested? We are going to invite you. So they receive already people who promise that they will come. And now they send it maybe second or third time. their slaves, "Come, for all things are now ready." So everything is ready. They sent it again, reminded people, dinner prepared. Just come. But they all start make excuses. Start making excuses. We do not know why. They just didn't want them to come for such dinner.
Why do they say, Father, with one accord? Like,
Yes, they did all of them.
For that.
All of those people who was invited just refused it.
Oh, okay.
As one accord. It's like all together.
I see. Okay.
Let's say I invited 37 people. And I received from 37 people, at the very last moment, "No, we will not come to you." How we can describe it? In one accord?
Okay, yes.
All of them did the same.
Okay.
Here is you have only 3 examples. What kind of excuses they prepare. "I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see it." It was very important to have a land. Land was very expensive. People believe that the land is best currency. Because if you have money, someone can just take it money from you. But if you have land, nothing would happen. If you have home, it can be destroyed, but nothing happened to your land. I still remember when my grandmother told me a story how they lived, and they was trying to buy more land because it was the best currency. At the time in Europe it was so many wars, and during the wars was changed the governments and the currency was changed. Land, it was the best currency. But do you really believe that the person bought it land without even see it? If this is major stuff you're buying it, are you going to pay attention what you're buying it?
I would think so.
I was asking earlier what the time people come for supper, dinner. Usually it's late afternoon. How much you're going to see in late afternoon? If you bought it, most likely you will come early morning to see it with all lights, to see what you bought it. You're not going to wait until it's dark. You will come earlier and ask him to be excused. Another said also, "I have bought 5 yoke of oxen." Trust me, this is a great number of oxen. An average person for personal usage, if they have 1 oxen, it was completely enough. 2, it was probably even more. And this is 5 yoke of oxen. Again, this is not a cheap. This is a big purchase. Are you going to buy animals, not even looking what kind of animals you're buying?
No.
It's a huge money. Even when we nowadays come and buy it as car, majority of us wanna have, just look around, see what the car, have some test drive to see how it's drive, how are you going to feel it. Yes, we can receive all information, just click a few buttons here, you're going to receive all information, technical information. Can you receive such information when you buy an animal? Definitely not. You have to see it, what you buy it. It's like a used car, you have no idea. You need to be very careful. Do you really believe that he never saw it before and he already bought it such huge amount of animals? Definitely not. But he also was polite and he said, "Excuse me, I cannot come." Another said, "I have married a wife and therefore I cannot come." I have married a wife and I cannot come. It's very interesting. Yes, Jewish people have many different laws. Absolutely true. Some of them was very good. I'm sincerely when I said those words. For example, if you will open your Bible on page 236, this is Deuteronomy, this chapter 20, page 236. And if you will look on verse 7, we can start it even maybe with verse 5. When you build a home, you need to have at least live in that home, because if you will come on war, you can be killed. If you planted in a vineyard, you also have the ability to receive a, this is verse 6 about vineyard, about home, verse 5, chapter 20, page 236. Verse 7. What a man there who is betrothed to a woman, but has not married her. Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the war, and a different man marry her. So Jewish people believing that Messiah have to come, salvation have to come. And this is why they believe that each person have a great value. And they didn't want that the person will be killed not having children, so never have ability that his future generation may be part of Messiah. So this is why they, for young people who didn't have children, they was not taking them to a war. Think about it. Nowadays we have war and nobody are asking. We consider ourselves very civilized people, but nobody asking. They're killing young people who never have children and never will have children. Just think how many generations just killed in that war. Future generation, children, grandchildren, grandchildren. They just killed them, as they have no chance. In Jewish tradition, yes, we have to admit it, it was very proper tradition to give those young people to have ability to have children, to have hope, to have hope. But again, that person was invited not to a war. What kind of invitation he received? For a dinner. He was not invited to come and join other soldiers in some battle. No, he was invited for a supper or a dinner. But he just said, I am married, I don't have time for you. He is not even asking forgiveness. Just look at those first two, they was asking, can I be excused? Because I bought land, I bought ox, and now that one, I'm just married. I have no time for you. So those servants came back to a master and said to him, people whom you invited, they refused. But there is a lot of food prepared.
That's costly too.
Yes, it's costly, but what you can do? In Jewish tradition, when you prepare a food, you cannot keep it for next days. You don't have it refrigerators, huge refrigerators. It's thrown on the streets for dogs. Just imagine, you was working hours, not only by yourself, many of your servants was working, and now you need to throw it everything to garbage. Yes, nowadays we have ability somehow preserve some food. We can use it, that cake maybe for a few months and to eat it. I'm just teasing. Of course, nobody is going to eat huge wedding cake. A few months, definitely not. But yes, we can preserve it. They didn't have refrigerators. So the master decided, and he said, those whom I invited was not worthy. I was mistaken. The people whom I invited was not really worthy to be part of my celebration. This is why he said, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city and bring in here the poor and the maimed and lame and the blind. Bring anyone you see. Not the best category of the people. Do you remember how we started the story? A lawyer, one of the lawyers, or one of the Pharisees said, how good it will be to participate in such event when they celebrate resurrection, when they will have again their kingdom will be returned. Jesus was saying, all those people who was invited, and this is a Jewish people. This is Pharisee, lawyers, and many other categories. People who belongs to a holy nation, they ignored it. They didn't want to participate. Just think. He telling to them, you are hoping that you are going to have a part of such wedding. No, 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 no. People whom you consider not the same level as you are, much, much lower than you. Yes, they belong to the same Jewish people, but they are not as well educated, as rich as you are. They are going to be invited. People whom they was not really respected. Yes, those rich, famous people was not really respected. Some peasants who was maybe not educated, who doesn't know the law. If you are educated and someone doesn't know how to read, it's a huge distance between you. So he said, invited them. But this is not the end of the story. What happened? It was still a room. Yes, they invited everyone whom they found, but still there is a room. What he's doing, the master, he sends them outside of the city, invite anyone. Even much, much lower socially comparing to even to those who live in the city. It was invitation for non-Jewish people. Yes, Jesus invited to his kingdom because the master is a God. God invited to his kingdom, to such dinner, not only Jewish people, he also invited us. You have to understand, for a Jew to invite a foreigner, it was a scandal. If some foreigner will come, not a Jew, to their home, it will be scandal. But now he invited everyone. So, if that person was believing because they are children of Abraham and they are going to have participation in such dinner, no, Jesus said. You ignore it. You didn't want to have parts. And my Father invited everyone. Do you remember how they treat people from Galilee? Uneducated people, fishermen. What they know about God? Galileans. He is from Galilee. And now those people from Galilee became the major in kingdom of heaven. But it's not only limited to people, Jewish people. Invitation open to everyone.
And it's stronger because it says compel them.
Yes. Thank you for asking such word. Tell me, what do you understand? How do you understand the word compel?
Almost force. It's close to force, I think.
Very true. Very true. Actually, based on this word, in Roman Catholic Church, it was a time when they believe they can force people to come closer to God. They have some inquisition when they was killing people because they believe they are not believing properly, so they was using force. And to justify themselves, they was looking on this verse, compel them.
Oh, I see.
Yes, please.
Not the St. Peter the Elliot?
Yes. Because they didn't want. Can you see, when it's come about to religion, to our doctrines, what we believe, many times we are not tolerating others people's beliefs. What the verse when people kill others people thinking that they are doing a good job, they are protecting God. This is the worst people can do. In the name of the Lord, they killing other people because they are not believe as you are believing. So no, this is not the Orthodox Church taught us. Not force people to come to a church. It's a sin. It's a sin. In this case, you have to be invited. Use many words, explain it why it's good for them to come for such dinner. But not grab their hands and take with you. No, this is not. And now just look at the last words. For I say to you that none of those men who were invited shall taste my supper. Just look at the first.
Taste.
What he said, how blessed is he who shall eat the bread. What the answer? None of them taste my supper. Can you see how it's combined together? Okay, from verse 25, let's do it maybe to verse 32.
Now great multitudes went with him, and he turned and said to them, If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count to cost whether he has enough to finish it? Lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king does not sit down first and consider whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him, who comes against him with 20,000?
If you will complete those two more verses, 32 until 30, to the end of this chapter.
Or else, while the other is still a great way off, he sends delegation and asks conditions of peace. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land nor for the dunghill, but men throw it out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Okay, thank you. I have only 5 minutes. I will try to speed up. I apologize, I talk a lot on previous verses. But this is very interesting. If anyone comes to me, okay, it was people was following Jesus. And many others was considered those people who follow with Jesus to Jerusalem for Pascha as his disciples. So Jesus addressed to people who follow him, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his father or mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, he cannot be my disciples. What do you think? How you understand? If you're not hate your father, mother, brothers, sisters, wife, children.
It can't be, because there's a commandment that says honor your father and mother.
Very true. Very true. Yes, but it was in Old Testament. Here is New Testament.
If I had to guess, it should be more not so much that hate, but that in comparison it looks like hate.
Okay. Yes, you're absolutely correct. No, I was a little teasing you. I apologize. Definitely, we have to love our parents. This is the commandments of the Lord, absolutely. When we come to Hebrew, Aramaic, Semitic languages, what was 2,000 years ago, the word love and hate not only exactly mean love and hate. That we better understand what I meant, open your Bibles on page 1286, Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, verses 37. Yes, 37 will be enough. 1286. Then he who loves father or mother more than me, not worthy of me. So in this case, it's not that you have to hate you have to come to your father and mother and say, I hate you, I want to be disciple of Jesus Christ. Not really. It means if you prefer your family more than me, if you put them on the first place than teaching of Jesus, you cannot be his disciples. If you love your family, doesn't matter, father, mother, brothers, sisters, more than Jesus, you cannot be his disciples.